Today we're going to talk about Sage Bond. She's half Navajo, half Apache, and a musician and composer. She's young. She hasn't had a lot of experience yet, but she's leaving her mark already in her mid-20s. Sage grew up on the largest reservation in America, the Navajo Nation. It's about 24,000 square miles, so it would be comparable to the state of West Virginia. It's mostly in the northeastern part of Arizona, but also that Four Corners area where Utah and New Mexico, small portions reach into those. So the Navajo Nation. And it'd be very famous for this, what you see here at Monument Valley. If you ever get a chance, go there. Some of those buttes rise as high as 1,000 feet from the rock floor. It's really amazing, picturesque place. When Sage was young, she had it was a challenging life. She got a plastic guitar when she was 9 and kind of taught herself how to play. And then she received her first gift of an electric guitar at age 11. And she just loved to, she really was enamored with and loved metal. So she would spend countless hours in her room playing the likes of Iron Maiden, Metallica, Megadeth. And this for her was very therapeutic. She fought with depression and anxiety, and the music really carried her through that. Her early music education is a sad story because there was none. She taught herself. She had the encouragement of family, but no formal teaching. And her mom would take her to karaoke, and that was her kind of education in music. That's all she had. Until her senior year in high school, when she was introduced to the Native American Composers Apprenticeship Project. And she jumped right into that and just really did a lot of work there. And she's been a part of that program for around 6 years now. And the NACAP, this is a link you can follow here to find out more about what they do there at the project, and it has all sorts of information about the Native American Composers Project, Apprentice Project. And in studying about Sage Bond and what she has done, I learned of the Shelter Music Boston. And Shelter Music Boston is a group, a chamber group of musicians that performs monthly at homeless shelters, women's shelters, substance abuse shelters and homes. And they perform to lift up these people and connect with these people. They perform all sorts of classical music from the 11th century to the 21st century. And Sage Bond is one of those composers. So she had composed a string quartet piece, and it's called Illusion, and I would like for you to listen to just a little bit of it, and we'll talk about that. This is a great video too that you can connect to and learn more about Sage Bond. metal and those groups that she loves so much. But what an interesting sound, and the chord progressions and where she's moving with that. It's very interesting. And you can go along, and all along here there's a little bit of a story here, so if you'd like to hear a little bit more of her talking about why and how she wrote that, you can take a look at that. There's also a link here to the SMB, or the Shelter Music Boston, where you can take a look at all the things that they do, going out and sharing music with all these places around Boston area. So that is Shelter Music Boston, who used Sage Bond's music. Sage, when she left high school, she was enrolled at Daime College, which is a community college in the Navajo Nation. I cannot swear that I pronounced that just right, but I think it is. And she transferred to Northern Arizona University, where she's just about ready to finish up. And when she auditioned for Northern Arizona, she auditioned in like opera, and she didn't know anything about it, but she has a good voice. She has a very unique voice, but she said it was just kind of okay, but the professors recognized her talents and brought her in. A lot of her compositions now have that metal influence, but a lot of what she does is solo and acoustic, which is kind of different. And you can go and hear a lot of her music here at Reverb Nation. A little link here, and I'll just play a little bit of one of her songs, and you get a taste of what her voice is like. This Reverb Nation, and Sage has her own page there. She has 2 albums out now, but very interesting, very unique sound to her voice. And these are all her original compositions, her original music. And recently, Sage has collaborated with Dr. Zenaida Stewart-Robles to produce choral versions of her song, Truth. And Dr. Robles is an award-winning Black American female composer who deserves her whole presentation on her own. She's very excellent and highly respected in the choral field. And you can learn more about her here on her page. You can read about her and look at some of her music and listen to some of her music here. That's Dr. Robles. And so this Truth. So they collaborated on the song, on Sage's song, Truth, and it premiered at Carnegie Hall this past March. It was part of a song performed by the National Concert Chorus at Carnegie Hall as part of the National Concert's Let My Love Be Heard series. So Sage has been to Carnegie Hall. Everything that she's struggled through has actually led her to that. So that's a really amazing story. Here's some other links that you can go to about Sage. An article that she wrote, and then some other articles about her from her school, how music is healing. And here's the original Truth that she made into a choral piece. So Sage Bond has begun to make a name for herself even at a young age, and that's why I have picked her to be my composer for this project. So thank you for listening, and please feel free to research and find out more about Sage here at some of these links.